Coming into your ears live from a basement in New Jersey.
But it's not live.
It's not live, though. The Scott and Smiz Show.
Hello. For those of you who are joining us for the very first time, this is the Scott and Smiz Show. My name is Scott.
And I'm Smiz.
And this is the podcast where great conversations never stop. And of course, as always, it's unscripted, unsupervised, and uncensored.
That's right. And we want to thank everyone who has liked our page. And if you haven't already, please take the time to like us at facebook.com/Scott and Smiz. You'll be able to catch up on any of the upcoming updates, as well as full access to all of our episodes.
Before we get started, Smiz, how you been doing in between now and the last episode? What's been going on?
I've been doing pretty good. Everything's all well. How about yourself?
I've been doing pretty good, man. Just working my tail off, eating a filet and lobster tail down at Outback when I get a chance, and just getting it done.
Yeah, that's good, man. That's good. Well, definitely since the last time we've been on the air, there's been a lot going on.
There's been a lot of shit happening.
A lot of serious things.
Good and bad.
Good and bad. We're going to get a lot to the fun stuff later on. We got some the holiday season's approaching and things of that nature.
Yeah.
But, we got to talk about the big elephant in the room, and it's the incidents that happened at Paris.
Yeah.
And everything that's gone on with that. Since then, there's been a lot of aftermath. For those of you who have been living under a rock, there was a massacre that occurred in Paris, committed by ISIS. They killed over 100 people and injured over 350, and needless to say, the world is on edge.
It definitely is on edge. I mean, we can somewhat relate to that being in the area we live in. I know we were very young when the 9/11 attacks did happen, but
right.
Us living close enough to the area, we can somewhat understand what's going on and understand the magnitude of the situation and what it calls for.
Exactly. It absolutely affected us, and it's one of those things where, since we live so close to one of the most prominent cities in the world, that is clearly a major league target for terrorism. It's scary. It's one of those things where, you do live in fear in certain instances, especially if you're going into the city and things of that nature.
I remember years after, people getting nervous and people freaking out about like fireworks and shit like that you didn't know about.
Yeah.
Loud explosions or low flying planes. Till this day, dude, a low flying plane that looks suspicious, I look up and I'm like, what's good with that? What's going to happen with that?
Is that thing lifting off? Or
does this guy know where he's supposed to land, or is he about to Sully Sullenberger it into the fucking river right now? Like, What's about to go on?
Right. So it's a really scary situation, and obviously there's a lot of debate going on what exactly is the type of action that the world, and not just the United States, but the world should be taking in this time of turmoil.
Tough call to make, man.
It is.
Very, very tough call to make. I mean, at the same time, you want to rush out there and you want to avenge, what's obviously happened to you.
Of course.
But, at the same token, you got to remember that there's people living in these places too.
You can't be
rash that are going to suffer the same as these people in Paris did.
Mm-hmm.
Not everybody's guilty. And that's the shitty part about the situation, but, not everybody looks at those facts.
Right. The important thing is to make sure that you make all the proper decisions with a lot of thought, and you don't act rash on them. You think of everything through before you take a course of action. I understand France is already taking action. They're already bombing ISIS with our assistance.
France has to do what they have to do, and they're going to retaliate just like anybody would. And unfortunately, sometimes the retaliations are somewhat emotional,
Right. And I do think that, they're using a lot of our intelligence, and the fact that other countries are willing to get involved now in this major quagmire that's going on in Syria.
Obama said, listen, we're waiting. We're ready and waiting. You know what I mean?
Right. And I think that he's being very tactical about this too, because, something along the lines of ground troops, which is obviously a big question that comes
let's
around
make it clear right now.
Yeah.
They're not just talking about, unfortunately, I hate saying this, but they're not just talking about messing with France. They're talking about messing with all over the world. France is, unfortunately, a big capital just like New York City is.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It just sucks because they're going to be going for somewhere big next. They're going for somewhere where they're going to find the most people and the biggest people that they can have an impact on and terrorize.
Exactly.
And, I really hope they don't bring that shit here, because if they do, there's going to be a fucking problem.
Yeah, it's extremely scary, and I think that also, like I think Obama's being extremely smart about how he's acting about this. He's not, he's taking a lot of heat right now for kind of like not acting rashly and not immediately sending troops over and things like that. Pretty much like acting like George Bush in the situation. I think it also takes time for people to learn a valuable lesson about that situation. You know, kind of Bin Laden kind of wanted the troops to come to the Middle East. He wanted to be the center of attention. He wanted to be public enemy number one. You know, and that's something that sending troops to war against ISIS, that's only going to add to ISIS's notoriety.
Yeah.
So it's something where, you know, you need to seriously look at both ends of this here and also ask yourself the question, is ground troops going to be the solution when you're not really fighting a military here? You're fighting a militant group.
You're fighting a militia.
I mean, in a sense, they could be considered a militia, but it's the fact that they can blend in so immediately back to society. You know, they can blend in even, like a lot of people are claiming they could blend in as refugees and things of that nature.
Yeah, and that's a good segue. That'll bring us on to our next conversation. The opinion on refugees.
It's a tough one because, you know, everyone's scared.
You know, this is where I stand on it first. And,
okay.
And I'm not going to lie, social media has exposed me to some of this shit in the past couple days.
Of course. It's inevitable.
As far as refugees are concerned, we have not millions, but thousands upon thousands of homeless veterans.
Right.
All right, people that have fought for the country, gave up, you know, what they had to, and they don't have a place to stay. They don't have a roof over their head or anything like that.
Yeah.
But yet, the refugees that come in get better treatment than they do.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of like, that's one of those classic, definitely comes from the right wing. It's kind of like, you know, it's kind of funny how all those people suddenly gave a shit about the homeless. They gave a shit about the homeless veterans all of a sudden. It's
you're
like,
absolutely right.
You're kind of using it as just
it takes on a different meaning when those views are put out there for the public to see, and then someone like myself grabs a hold of it and realizes that, you know, shit, I really don't want anybody to come from another fucking country when we still have people that fought for our country and don't have and they aren't getting treated right.
Right, and I kind of don't see us, you know, we're not going to be stocking them up here at the Plaza Hotel, and they're going to be getting all these fine amenities and things of that nature.
I'm not saying going to the Plaza Hotel.
We're giving them refuge. We're giving them a place to be safe, and that's
my point is we still have
country.
people of our own to worry about before we can really worry about anybody else.
I agree, but so do all the other countries in mind here. France is still letting in 30,000 refugees after ISIS just created this massive tragedy in their biggest city. So, you know, you got to look at both ends of the spectrum here. You got to have the humanitarian side of things and remember.
I'm really, really, really trying to have the humanitarian side.
You got to remember our American values. You know,
the country's made upon immigrants. That's what our country's built upon.
Exactly.
But we've been doing that for a long, long fucking time. How about we care about some of the people that we have here in such a situation that have given up so much? Let's take care of them, and then we'll worry about getting these other people in here.
So what would you have in mind for them then?
If they're willing to put out all this money, all right, and all this shit for refugees, and honestly, don't take it the wrong way. It's not like I don't care about refugees, and I'm not saying that at all. You know, it sucks. Everybody's put in a situation. I get it. All right, but I'd really focus on what we have at hand here, or at least to help some of these guys out before we really consider letting this many people in. And I mean, to go further on with it, I know we've talked, you know, previously about, you know, letting these refugees in, the heavy screening process that they should and hopefully have to go through before they enter our country.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's already been kind of labeled out, everything from the Department of Homeland Security to the United Nations all the way down. You know, it's going to take a long time for people to really be processed, and a lot of people already are. That's the fortunate thing about it. And the interesting part is that if you look at research on, because a big concern is obviously terrorists blending in with the refugees, and pretty much the research determines that if you want to be a terrorist and enter the United States, the worst way to go about doing it is going through the refugee program.
Can I shed some light on something for you though, and something that really isn't in you know, the media and shit today?
Right.
You've heard of the group Anonymous, okay? You know how they're hackers and stuff like that. ISIS has hackers of their own. Okay, and something that you may not know is that ISIS has been hacking for just as long as fucking Anonymous has. ISIS, has recently hacked into a military database and stolen a bunch of military information upon, you know, the members of the military, all the way from officers to enlisted men. All right, so now they have the information of enlisted men and everything else that they can use and take the advantage of. fuck coming in as a refugee. What if they stole the identity of soldiers? What do you say then?
I think that's a far reach, to be honest.
I can guarantee you it's not a far reach.
Because
I've seen somebody who is a former Marine get the letter and say that their identity was disclosed because of ISIL. So what do you have to say to that?
I think it's extreme. I think it's something where and
it's extreme and it happened.
It could be related to.
It's extreme and it happened, and we're still worried about getting refugees.
It could be related to an isolated incident. I think there's a lot of, and it's one of the
fucking U.S. Marines we're talking about, man. That's not an isolated incident.
You don't think that people would be using that, especially the Republicans who use moot talking points?
I don't give a fuck about the Republicans. I'm talking about actual facts that I saw in front of my face.
Where were your sources?
I'm not going to reveal a name, but it's somebody very close to me.
Okay.
That I'm with on a daily basis.
Okay, so outside of that, why aren't they going to the press on this?
Would you really want to expose that to the press?
Absolutely. That's a national security problem.
Okay.
Are you kidding?
So you want to let everybody know, hey everybody, let you know, ISIS hacked into the military and they're going to be posing as militants now.
Absolutely. You do not think that the people that are going against this very own administration would literally say, this is a sign of weakness. This is why you should vote for the other
knowing what
side.
you know and you studying what you studied, you know they aren't going to release that type of information.
Of course they are. Everything that's come out from the NSA on, and and what we've been able to expose with the freedom of the press, you do not think that a journalist would say, "Holy shit! Someone from ISIS got a hold of something that would seriously cause one of the worst threats to our national security by actually using hacking." And I'm sure they've used hacking. I'm not doubting that. But if they're going beyond to this point and they're taking the identities of soldiers,
after I'm telling you what I've seen firsthand and read the fucking letter in my own two hands, addressed to a former U.S. Marine.
And what they do about it?
They let them know that their information's been disclosed, and that's it.
That their information's been disclosed, but not that their identity was taken.
Because that the database was breached, right, and their information is part of the identity that was stolen.
Okay.
Okay?
All right.
Period. That's it. Before we get emotional, I reach across this table and strangle you with this microphone cable. Ooh. Okay. Why don't we move on to something else?
Ooh. Okay. All right. So I think it's besides our views, because we're just two guys in a basement in New Jersey. So I think it's also important to take a look at the views and perspectives that come from the Democrats and the Republicans that are running for president of the United States.
The other thing that does kind of bother me is that every time a terrorist attack happens, and I'm sure you can somewhat agree with me on this, every time a terrorist attack happens, it's the Muslim community that gets attacked. Okay? Just like, there's been plenty of major catastrophic events that have involved white people. Mm-hmm. White people aren't generalized, like, unfortunately, like the Muslim culture is. And that's truly some sugar-coated bullshit. That every time there's a terrorist attack, that, automatically people jump to hate the Muslim community just because of a couple bad apples.
I agree.
And that's something that I wanted to bring up publicly on air that I think personally is bullshit.
I agree.
Just because a couple people, and unfortunately a couple very bad people, have done some very bad things, does not mean that the whole culture and countries and the ways of life should be
and they're radicalizing the religion as an excuse for it, and that also places the blame back on the people who are peaceful about how,
because there's a lot of great people that are part of the Muslim religion, and they really should not be looked down
absolutely
upon.
There's nearly 2 billion Muslims in the world.
A lot of Muslim people.
And clearly when you look at the tally of what ISIS makes up, which is less than 50,000, I believe. It's interesting to see, though, but at the same time, it's amazing what can happen with only a handful of people. And I guess that's what a lot of people are arguing with this refugee situation, is that things can be taken like that. So in regards to what the presidential candidates feel about this on the Republican side, majority of them believe ground troops immediately. We need to get troops. We need to get boots on the ground. And at the same time, we're not going to let any refugees in. We're going to have a no-tolerance policy, except... don't get me wrong. There are some candidates on the Republican side that believe refugees should be let in, but the majority don't. And even some, like Ted Cruz, believe that, we could let some refugees in if they're Christians. We're going to actually divide. No. We're going to divide people and select who we bring in based on what religion they are. I mean, is that serious? That we're actually going to go ahead and do that?
Really shouldn't be serious, just because.
Especially from what our country is founded on.
That's really profiling at its finest.
Extremely. Especially when you look at what our country's built on, which is freedom of religion.
Yeah.
we're going to then say, well, we can have freedom of religion, but not the people that we're bringing in.
Yeah.
And apparently because one person... And how are you going to determine whether someone's a Christian or a Muslim?
Can't.
It's not
like we're branded.
It's not on your ID. It's not based on your last name. So, and on top of this, you have 31 governors out of 50 states that have refused refugees there, and majority of them are Republican. And the problem is that they don't even have a say in this decision. It's the federal government.
The most important thing is that we know their opinion, right?
Oh, yeah.
No, it really doesn't mean shit, but that's aside from the fact.
Right. I mean, and then on top of that, of course, the day after the Paris massacre happened...
Trump wants to remove mosques?
Well, no, that was maybe 2 days after.
Okay.
But the day after, the Democrats had to react to this, the Democratic presidential candidates during their second debate. So CBS completely changed course on exactly what they were going to talk about during this debate because obviously this was the hot topic. And the majority of their perspective was no troops on the ground. Use your alliances, use the Arab states that are near that area, use airstrikes. Don't use soldiers. It's not necessary. And if you're going to seriously screen these refugees, do it that way because having a no-tolerance policy against it, in their opinion, is not the best way to handle things.
Yeah.
So what do you think about that?
I could definitely understand that. I mean, the biggest thing for me is that we really stop viewing the opinions of these people and we really get down to the facts. Because we really need to cut through the bullshit at this point and really analyze the situation and take it for what it is instead of taking it with a grain of salt and reacting the appropriate way.
And I think along with that, I understand each side's perspective, even though I completely disagree with it. But at the same time, there needs to be some sense of compromise. You need to be able to work together and come up with some decisions that you both agree on, which obviously everyone agrees. You need to stop ISIS.
Yeah.
And, this was definitely something that even before these attacks happened, during the fourth Republican debate was a major hot topic, was national security. You had Marco Rubio and Ted Cruz scaring the living shit out of everybody.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Ben Carson thinks when it comes to Syria that the Chinese are in there.
Well,
what?
Listen, this is America. Everybody's entitled to their own opinion.
This guy's running for president.
Listen, so is Donald Trump. Okay?
It isn't an opinion of whether or not we're going to. But at the end of the day, this isn't just a matter of opinion. You need to have facts to back up your opinion. And Ben Carson is like the only person out there that's saying, well, the Chinese are in Syria.
Listen, do any of these guys really have logical fucking facts?
No.
How many times in our past fucking interviews or our past, I'm sorry, interviews, wrong fucking word to choose. Our past shows have we talked about fact checkers going back and checking these facts and finding out the complete bullshit. All of these guys are full of shit. They're all full of shit.
The problem is when you double down on them and say, yeah, I believe that.
Listen, hold on. They're doubling down on this shit, and they don't have any toilet paper. There's shit everywhere. All right? There's literally shit everywhere. And nobody gives a fuck because they're all still watching it. All right?
Even when
Unfortunately, this is 2015, and the presidential debate is a fucking joke.
All right? Extremely.
We have Ben Carson, and we have Donald Trump. If either of them get into office, we are fucked. I am moving. I am leaving. Canada. My ass is going to Canada. All right? Hanging out in the snow, riding snowmobiles, making fucking snowmen for 8 months out of the year so I don't have to deal with this shit. All right?
Someone's angry.
Yeah. I'm a little emotional.
I can understand why. Because it is pretty ridiculous at this point, especially when Ben Carson is saying that he has better advisors on the information that China is in Syria than our own president, Barack Obama does.
Ben Carson is a fucking idiot. He is a fucking idiot. And if I had a kid, I wouldn't let him operate on my kid. You know why? Because he's a fucking idiot. I don't want him in the office. I don't want Donald Trump in the office. All right? You know what I want there, if anybody? Bernie motherfucking Sanders.
All right? Well, that's good.
All right?
I hope you're ready for some refugees because he wants to allow 60.
Well, listen, me and Bernie, we could talk about that.
Oh, what? We can negotiate? Because what? Are you...
Wait, repeat my first idea for a presidential slogan.
Get with it or get lost.
All right, you know what my second one is?
What's that?
Get right or get the fuck out. All right, that's going to be my second one. Get right or get the fuck out. Because I'm not going to keep dealing with this shit. When me and Kanye, when we're head-to-head in 2020.
For your re-election.
For my re-election. And we're going hard. All right? If Kanye tries to come up on my stage and steal my mic, guess what? You know what I'm going to tell him? Get right or get the fuck out. All right? That's going to be it. You know what I'm talking about? Let's just make America great again. That's what I'm talking about.
So what, we're going to just use Donald Trump's old slogan?
Yeah.
The guy that you think's a fucking idiot?
He's a fucking idiot. But you know what? Even if I'm a fucking idiot, I'll do it better.
You know, because it's just like, let's make America great again. It's like, when did it stop? When did it get bad?
Well, it never got bad.
So why do we got to make it great again?
Because
if America's just great in general.
What? Fuck it. Let's make it fantastic again. Because when's the last time America was fantastic?
It's always been fantastic.
Well, I love America too. Matter of fact, you know how many American flags I got in my car?
Too many.
2. Are you saying I have too many? If you are, you're a fucking communist.
So with that said, we need to get back to Scotland 2016, because if we're getting all the other presidential candidates' perspective on the situation, we need to get the man who's actually going to be the next president, and we need to get his opinion on these things. So
absolutely.
How would Scotland destroy ISIS besides your gun?
Okay, besides my gun?
Right.
Okay, it'd be me and a bunch of other men with guns.
Why do you need to get involved in the fighting? You're the fucking president.
Listen.
In this situation.
Listen. Let's go. Let's kick it old school, bro. Let's throw it back. I'm gonna hop on the C-130 with these boys, hop out with a parachute.
This isn't
and get the shit done.
This is not Independence Day, the movie.
Well,
George Washington was a general before he was a president.
Okay.
So how the fuck are you going to get involved in this fight?
I'm gonna put a little bit of my blood on the line. I'll fucking fly in there with a parachute, night vision goggles and all.
I really hope you have a good vice president then.
Yeah, me too. Me too. Maybe I'll get Joey in there.
Joey B?
Joey B. Joey B, a.k.a. B's knees.
So,
I mean, that's my answer, dude. I mean, there's really nothing else to say. I'm going to get it done. I'm going to get it done the right way and wipe ISIS off the fucking map so we can all wake up one morning and have a great fucking cup of tea, some fucking crumpets, and some fucking toast and eggs.
How are you going to do that?
Get with it or get lost. Scotland 2016.
I guess that explains it.
Yeah.
I guess it does.
Yep.
So, with that said,
yeah,
we're going to take a quick break, and I'm glad that we've been able to even make, the most tragic of situations, even though we get a little heated in this situation.
We get a little heated. We try to add a little too much humor, but please understand, we do understand and very much respect the severity of the situation.
Exactly. We take this extremely seriously. I mean, I'm sure from just the first half of this very first segment, just, hearing our passion and the way that we feel about how our country and the rest of the world should be addressing this. But at the same time, you need to be able to be a little lighthearted in a situation that is everything but that.
And you know what? My opinion is if we were sitting here on the air and we were crying and we were getting all broken up about it, we're letting them win.
Right.
We're letting them get the best of us. And, in my opinion, make the best of a bad situation and let's talk about how we're going to make it better.
Exactly, and we're going to have a lot more to talk about coming up next. We're going to be talking about Thanksgiving. It's almost here. We're also going to be talking about Christmas. That's also, the Christmas season is starting to become in full swing. Yep. And we also got, as always, some more bizarre news for you as well.
Absolutely, folks, and we'll be right back after this short break. Hey guys, got anything you want to talk about? Anything you want to bring up? Any good topics? Well, if so, or if you have any good feedback, you can see us online at facebook.com/Scott and Smiz.
Back to a lot more lighthearted of discussions.
Absolutely.
Because Thanksgiving is just around the corner. And I wanted to ask you, Scott, what are your favorite parts about the holiday?
My favorite parts about the holiday?
That's right.
Well, first things first, stuffed mushrooms.
Really?
Absolutely fantastic.
That's the first thing that comes to mind when you think Thanksgiving.
Stuffed mushrooms.
Stuffed mushrooms.
My dad makes possibly the best world-class stuffed mushrooms.
Well, that's great. Yeah, it's like...
You're welcome.
Speaking of stuffed shit, I'm a big fan of stuffing.
Really?
Yeah. Stuffing is mad fun.
You're a big fan of stuffing shit?
No, I just like stuffing the food. Yeah.
No pun intended.
Oh, yes, exactly. But yeah, of course, you got to deal with the turkeys. What do you think about turkey? Like
Turkey's great, but I feel like it's like a natural drug. Almost like a natural Bill Cosby.
What, because of tryptophan?
Yeah. Tryptophan, get it right. Like a natural Bill Cosby.
Right.
You eat it, you fall asleep. Too early?
Too soon?
Maybe. I don't give a fuck.
Get with it or get lost, I guess.
Get with it or get the fuck out.
Oh,
Scotland,
God.
2016.
Yeah, I find turkey to be a dry bird.
A dry bird.
Well,
apparently
fucking dry,
whoever's
man.
been cooking it for you has been cooking it wrong.
You mean that's how fucking turkey tastes? What the fuck are you talking
you're
about?
wrong.
We're gonna get a heated discussion about this too.
You've never had a truly moist turkey?
No, I haven't.
Well, you've been going to the wrong place.
You mean
maybe you should go to fucking Boston Market for your turkey then?
Oh, really? Are you a big fan of the Macy's Day Thanksgiving parades?
Usually,
Macy's Day, God.
You know what I catch that in between? The hors d'oeuvres.
So
usually,
the Thanksgiving
chowing down
the Thanksgiving
hors
Day
d'oeuvres.
Parade is normally on about 10 in the morning. You're already having your hors d'oeuvres.
I'm
at
fucking
10 a.m.
Irish, all right? We're eating hors d'oeuvres, guzzling fucking Bud Light, all right? Getting right before this turkey hits the table, all right?
All right.
America, get with her to get the fuck out.
But what does that have to do with the parade?
Everything.
Everything?
Everything. What do you think the people at the parade are doing? Getting right.
Watching fucking
Getting right.
Watching floats.
Getting right however they do it. Whether it's watching floats or getting twisted and watching floats, whatever they do, they're getting right.
Okay.
All right.
I know that you're not a big sports guy. What do you think about the football games that go on during Thanksgiving?
On Thanksgiving? First of all, I think it's a crime to play football on Thanksgiving.
Really?
No, I'm lying.
I'm
lying.
Yeah.
I watch those games on Thanksgiving. It's a very little bit of sports that I do watch. I do watch those games on Thanksgiving.
Probably have no idea what's going on in them,
Absolutely no fucking clue.
Nonetheless, you watch them.
Yep. Oliver Rashid, our sports coordinator, will be on to comment about that.
Yes, he's going to be coming in later on in the NFL season to comment on the playoffs and all that will be going on
Also,
there.
future Jets head coach, so get ready for that, people.
What are some of the other favorite foods you have during Thanksgiving dinner?
Oh, well, sweet potatoes. Sweet potatoes with brown sugar and butter. They're good.
Really?
Yeah, marshmallows too. Don't forget about the marshmallows.
These are these are the weirdest Thanksgiving foods.
Yeah. You've never eaten a proper Thanksgiving until you've had your sweet potatoes, your yams.
I mean, don't get me wrong.
Potatoes.
I've had those, but it's just like the things that you're pointing out about it seem like the most inconspicuous aspects of Thanksgiving.
Well, purely, it obviously seems that you don't enjoy Thanksgiving to the fullest.
I actually love Thanksgiving.
Do you? Do you love Thanksgiving?
I do.
Do you love Thanksgiving?
I love it. It's
when
great.
you watch PBS, and are you a communist?
I love plenty of people who like Thanksgiving. I think they're great. I think they're great people.
We're getting down to the real hard topics.
This is the brass fucking tax.
America. Plymouth Rock. Get it right or get it tight.
Man, you have as much historical accuracy as Ben Carson.
Yeah. And fuck that guy. All right? Fuck that guy.
Because America wasn't a fucking country during Thanksgiving.
They just found it.
No, they didn't. They didn't, though. Like,
do you know who Christopher Columbo is? Do you know who Christopher Columbo is?
Christopher Columbo? What is he, a fucking secret agent? I know Christopher Columbus, but not Christopher Columbo.
Listen, Mr. Pinto taught me Christopher Columbo is the man. And he didn't really find America.
Yeah, so why are you giving him all this fucking credit?
Google Maps did.
No, they didn't.
Yeah, they did.
You're full of shit.
You didn't get the fucking update?
What are you talking
Google
about?
Maps, they found America. Way back when.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Scotty Lind is officially incoherent.
They have a picture of Plymouth Rock.
And that's right, he's completely incoherent. But yeah, you want to get involved in the history of Thanksgiving and
No, but how about Christmas?
Christmas? So I mean, there's already enough going on with Christmas as it is, And we're not even out of November yet.
Considering everybody has their Christmas decorations up and we have yet to have a turkey at the table.
Well, you also, people are worrying about Black Friday shopping. Like, it's the most important part about the Thanksgiving holiday as it is.
Well, listen, let me tell you something real quick about Black Friday.
Tell it like it is, presidential candidate Scotland.
If I become president, nobody is working on Black Friday. No one.
Bravo.
No one's working
Bravo.
on Black Friday.
We get a round of applause for that. But the problem is you can't give your own round of applause.
I just fucking did. Get with it or get lost, Scotland 2016.
So, along with Black Friday, that of course leads us, as you were mentioning, Christmas, which is on the way, which also means that the war on Christmas, as it does every single year, has finally begun. And the first battle in the war on Christmas is the Starbucks Holiday Cup controversy. And it really has already gotten things going this early in the season. Some people are upset that Starbucks has kind of had a basic sort of red cup with the Starbucks logo, and all of a sudden people are upset that it doesn't say Merry Christmas, when apparently it never really did.
Can I tell you my plan?
Your plan?
Yeah.
Okay.
I have a plan.
Go for it.
I've heard of this stewing controversy upon this red cup and its lack of festivus as far as Christmas is concerned.
How do you feel about that?
It doesn't really bother me much because I don't drink fucking Starbucks because I cannot afford it. I drink Dunkin' Donuts. But my plan is to go into Starbucks, and you know how they call it your name when you get a coffee at Starbucks? You know what my name's going to be?
What's it going to be?
Take a guess. Take a guess.
Well, if it's like the guy who was on that addressed this whole Starbucks controversy.
He put it as Merry Christmas.
He put it as Merry Christmas.
Okay, that's good. But they're so against religion and showing affiliation towards religion. Do you know what my name is going to be?
What's your name going to be?
That day, I will go into Starbucks, and my name will be Slim Jesus.
Slim Jesus?
When they yell out, Slim Jesus, I'll be like, yes. Yeah, I'm sorry, what name did you say? And they're going to say, Slim Jesus. I'm going to say, oh, yes, that is me. Thank you very much for having a religious affiliation. You're welcome.
Well, aren't you great?
I try to be Scotland 2016. Get it with it, get lost.
See, the thing is that I'm not even sure if that would appeal to the religious sect of the voting population, or
somebody
if it would
is going to be happy.
Even more.
Somebody's going to be happy, and or Slim Jesus will be very happy.
I don't even think they're going to be happy or sad. They're just going to be fucking confused.
Regardless of the fact,
they probably don't even know who the fuck Slim Jesus is.
As long as I have an impact, that's all I'm focused on. There you go.
There you have it, folks.
There it is.
The Starbucks Holiday Cup controversy has been solved.
Boom.
And with that bizarre news headline, we also have to go to more bizarre news headlines.
Absolutely.
And I know this first one in particular is really caught your eye. So
yes. Here's another early holiday story coming out of Ireland. In his Christmas letter to Santa, a little boy named Rory Smith wanted to tell the man from the North Pole that he'd like a video game, and he'd like Grand Theft Auto 5 for his upcoming holiday. But made his intentions extremely clear when he explained in his list, I just want to play with the cars, not the hookers. You know, that sounds like a letter very much that I wrote to Santa in, like, I don't know, 2004, 2005 about Grand Theft Auto Vice City.
So you didn't want the hookers?
I didn't want the hookers. I just wanted the cars and the guns.
I mean, if that wasn't bad enough.
Yeah.
You know, do you think that it's even possible to play Grand Theft Auto 5 without the hookers?
Picture little Rory Smith, and all he wanted to tell the man from the North Pole was, I just want to play with the cars, not the hookers. In a nice little brogue like that.
And what
just the cars, Santa, not the hookers. Come on, you got to get the kid the game.
I guess. Come on. Pretty much it's just like watch him play the game, supervise him a little bit.
And let me tell you something. In the long run, you know what helped me learn how to parallel park just about anything?
Hookers.
Grand Theft Auto 5. And 4 and 3 and all that. I was parking everything in that game. Tanks, planes, boats, anything.
Why were you parking anything in Grand Theft?
Why not? When you have enough free time and you're 13, 14 years old,
you don't park them, you blow them up. That's the object of the game.
After I was done blowing them up, you know what I did? Got a few new ones and parked them.
Well, the interesting part is that it's not like hookers are the main objective of Grand Theft Auto 5, so...
Well, for a 13 or 14-year-old that knows what hookers are, and he's got $25 million after he beats the game, he's going to go get some. I'm just saying.
This is game money that we're talking about here.
This is game money.
I'm just gonna go to the next fucking
Right.
the next storyline.
Because you don't know shit about Grand Theft
I
Auto.
don't think it's any better. There's currently a YouTube series available called Baked. And just in time for the holidays, the site has created videos that instruct people on how to cook with marijuana for any Thanksgiving foods, from turkey and stuffing to cranberry sauce. In case this is how you like to celebrate the holiday, here's the resource. You're welcome and happy Weedsgiving. I don't even know if there's anything to comment on this.
I'm not going to incriminate myself on that one.
Well, I don't
Leave that one alone.
I think that it's just important that everyone knows this important thing if they're into it.
Yeah.
Make sure that everyone has the best holidays humanly possible.
All right. Okay.
In New York City, a man was arrested at the Fifth Avenue Apple Store for wielding a sword as he ascended down the stairs of the flagship store, scaring many customers in the process. Witnesses say Hu Chen,
His proper name is Hu Chen. Go ahead.
which is literally the same thing, threatened employees for an iPhone and counted out loud as if he had a bomb. Police officers already in the store apprehended him with the help of additional law enforcement. Now, what do you think about that?
Well,
Imagine if you're going to shop and get a brand new iPhone, which is unlike you because you don't get new phones that often.
Nope.
But at the same time, if you see a guy who is walking down the stairs in the Fifth Avenue Apple Store in New York City and all of a sudden is just wielding it and going 10, 9, 8.
You want to know what I'm going to do?
He's going to break out his fucking gun.
First thing that I'm thinking is this guy obviously didn't get what he wants, which means I'm probably not going to get what I want, so I'm probably going to leave. I'm just going to go.
Well, I mean, he was threatening employees.
But if he's counting, I'm out. On the first number I hear, if I hear 8, if he's like 9, 8, as soon as I hear 8 to 7, I'm out. Because if he's got a bomb, that means I got 7 seconds to run. Yeah. I can run pretty fucking fast. So I'm out.
I mean, he was threatening the employees for an iPhone.
Yeah, I'm out.
People do some desperate shit.
I don't even know why the person was around to give a witness account of the story, because I would have been fucking out. If a guy pulls out a goddamn...
People were filming it on their iPhones.
Fuck that. Guy pulls out a Ginsu sword in the middle of a fucking iPhone store. That's not the right place for a Ginsu sword. I shouldn't be there. All right? Clearly he's not happy, and I don't want to be around him while he's unhappy, and I'm leaving. 10987 gone. Leaving. I'm out.
Peace.
Scott Lim for 2016. Get with it, get lost.
Get with it and get lost,
all right,
folks.
In the next story, in Florida, of course, a driver's ed teacher in Florida is accused of drinking and driving after he crashed his truck into a ditch, authorities say. Police arrested Richard Bull, 51 years old, after he allegedly drove his Dodge Ram, hell of a truck, into a construction site into a parking lot of McDonald's. Authorities say that Bull's blood alcohol level was .159, nearly twice the legal limit. In their arrest report, deputies say that Bull said it was someone named Josh that was driving the truck when it crashed. He said that Josh ran from the scene before deputies arrived.
Yo.
Well, fuck me running. Josh can move. Josh was out before the cops got there, and in Florida, that's quick.
Josh managed to find someone. He managed to meet up with Richard Bull, put him in get him drunk.
Said, Richie Rich, hop over here in the driver's seat. I'm going to fucking be out because I got a Groupon at fucking Moe's and I'm going to cash it in. All right, that was it.
You know what? Shout out to Tom Nicenti, because he's been here listening to us all night, trying to avoid laughing as much as humanly possible, and I'll give him the benefit of the doubt because he's been a real trooper in this situation.
Absolutely has been a real trooper. Shout out Tom Nicenti.
Right. So, we got one more story for you here.
All right, and here we go. We move on to Pennsylvania, where troopers say 43-year-old Michelle Leonard of Somerset was intoxicated when she crashed her car about 5 p.m. on Saturday. The Associated Press reports Pennsylvania State Police arrested her and charged her with drunken driving before releasing her. That's when Leonard offered a stranger $3 for a ride back to her crashed vehicle. Police said she entered Hold on. She entered and began driving again. She then allegedly lost control of the car, sideswiping a parked car in Somerset Township about 6 p.m. before crashing into a shed. This isn't the first time a person has been arrested twice for DUI in the same day. Last year, a woman named Catherine Butler was arrested for DUI twice within 3 hours, once while wearing zombie makeup after leaving a Halloween party. Now, Living wwhere we live.
No, I couldn't stop laughing when I read the story.
Living where we live in Bergen County.
Yeah.
I could really see something like this happening.
It's like so.
Yep.
People we know even.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Getting into this dumb of shit. Like, you know, it's something where people like.
Do a crime, get bailed out, but I'm good.
You just, like, that's when you know that they're on all different types of fucked up. Because they don't even understand the consequences of what they just did, to the point that they're literally just saying, okay, I'm going to go do it again.
No, they're just getting through what they just did to get back to what they were doing.
Yeah.
That's what they're doing. All right? They don't want the night to end. It was simply a mere intermission where they got into a county holding cell and they got to piss in a metal toilet, collect bail, and leave. All right? That's it. They pissed in that metal toilet, left, totally forgot about what just happened, hopped back in the car and said, let's get it.
Well, that is what I like to call selective memory.
Selective memory.
Yeah.
A lot of New Jerseyans have it.
That's for sure.
And we're good at it. I don't remember anything.
Really?
What?
Do you remember this conversation that we just had?
What conversation?
Exactly.
That's how I let go of hard things in life. I forget.
Well, I wonder if you're going to be able to do your classic segment here tonight.
Oh, too long? Did not listen? Are we about ready for that?
Yeah, we're about to wrap up the show here on the Scott and Smiz Show.
All right.
It's been an interesting one, to say the least.
Very, very interesting one. Again,
all over the place.
Again, before we end this show, we want to have another special shout-out to a Mr. Dominic Nicenti.
Yes.
All right. So, for the too long, did not listen. Okay, start off with some serious stuff. Let's hit that moment of silence for France real quick.
Yes,
moment of
that's
silence.
for sure.
Okay, moment of silence for all the attacks that happened in Paris. Back to the humorous stuff. Republicans freaking out. They want to send a whole bunch of people in. They want to mess shit up. I don't know what's going on. I don't watch a whole lot of news. However, they had another debate. They want to have no troop use alliances and use airstrikes. Sounds a lot like Call of Duty. Barack Obama calls out Republicans. Trump wants to remove mosques and go after Muslims. I don't know how I feel about that, Trump. You got a shitty haircut and an even more fucked up wig. I don't know how I feel about any of that. Fourth Republican debate takes place on Fox Business. Fox? Bunch of gypsies and a bunch of communists. They all watch PBS, so I don't know what's going on with that. Rubio and Cruz, they scared everybody. Trump and Carson, both wrong on China. They both love Chinese sweatshirts. They both like to wear them when it's cold outside. Neither of them stay warm. Scott Lynn, 2016 campaign update. Get with it or get lost. Get the fuck out. Right. Thanksgiving. Love it. Turkey. Stuffed mushrooms. All kinds of sweet potatoes. All that good stuff. Turkey parades, football, all that good shit. Don't watch much football. That's for our sports correspondent, Oliver Rashid. He'll be on next time to talk about all that shit. I don't know anything about it.
Hopefully.
Yeah. Starbucks Holiday Cup. I'm going to go into Slim Jesus, shock the world, and let them all know and drop beat at the same time. Back to bizarre news. We got a whole bunch of crazy shit. Little Irish kid wants Grand Theft Auto 5. He doesn't want to play with the car. Or, no, he does want to play with the car, not the hookers. YouTube series available called Bake. Whole bunch of big shit. New York City, a man was arrested on 5th Avenue for wielding a sword. Apparently, shit was not going right, and if it was me, I would have left. Would not have been there to report upon it. Driver's ed teacher drunk. Wish I had that in high school. Would have been gone great, and would have been done in 3 hours. Otherwise than that, I'm still a great driver. Move on to Pennsylvania, where troopers say Michelle Leonard. She did a whole bunch of sorrowful bad shit. I've seen many people do sorrowful bad shit, and their name was not as bad as Michelle Leonard. And for all of you who tune in, that was too long. Did not listen.
That's right.
That was Scott Lind, and your name is?
My name is Smiz.
And real quick, your name is?
Dom Nicenti.
And that's our special guest for this evening. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for your warm response.
He's had a lot to say, not really, to say the least, but thank you once again for getting through us here on this lovely show. Of course, you can always like us on our Facebook page.
Facebook.com/Scott and Smiz.
Surprising. It comes from Facebook.com on a Facebook page.
Facebook page. And believe it or not, ladies and gentlemen, if you are a big fan of the show and you like our controversial talk and you like our humor, we also have T-shirts for sale, so you can wear them and your friends can ask questions about the two odd men on this T-shirt with a microphone that wears a crown. We will get it done, ladies and gentlemen. Don't forget, Scotland 2016. Get with it and or get lost.
That's right. I'm currently being vetted to be the running mate.
There you go.
So, once again, thank you for listening, especially to our loyal fans who have been with us since day one. And the ones who have just gotten here, welcome.
Welcome. Shout out to all the Wookanites and all the past members. And shout out to Dom. When I say Wookanite, shout out
Jen Carter.
Jen Carter, there we go. Even the people who don't know Jen Carter know who Jen Carter is.
And also the people who don't even know what the fuck a Wookanite is, because that is literally a word Scott made up on the last episode.
That's right. Ladies and gentlemen, get with it or get lost. Until next time, my name is Scott Lind, and this is
the Scott and Smiz Show.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, you have a good night. And until next time, keep it right and keep it tight.
Good night, everyone.